Okay, Wildcard weekend officially ended, and honestly, there was only really one good game. Sorry, I had something on the screen and it's annoying me. Okay, now that that's over with, sorry about that. In my opinion, there was only one good game, and that was tonight. That was Chicago and Philadelphia, and that one could have went either way. Now, I'm sure if you're a fan of either of those teams, you know they were good games, but unlike the regular season, my picks laid a complete egg in the postseason. I Philadelphia was the only one that won. The rest of them, Seattle didn't show up. Seattle just got outplayed. I'll give credit to the Dallas Cowboys there. I knew Dallas had a good team. I felt like Seattle's roster was better, and I felt like Russell was a better quarterback. And I felt like the defense was a little bit better. That's the way that I felt. That's why I picked Seattle. And Seattle just got outplayed. They got beat. That's all there was to it. Baltimore laid a massive egg today. Let's see who else. Oh yeah, the Texans. The Texans and the Colts are like a mirror image of the Chargers and the Ravens. It's not like one team beat the other. It's just one team played so extremely shitty they couldn't beat the other team. And I say that because the Ravens literally beat themselves so bad that at the end of the game they couldn't put themselves in a position to beat the Chargers. Out of all the turnovers that Baltimore caused or that Baltimore had, there was only one of them that was caused by the Chargers' actual defense. The rest of them were just guys dropping it on the ground, or the interception was a tip ball. I mean, those are gimmies. I mean, it wasn't tipped by the defense either. It hit the guy in the chest and went up in the air, and dude picked it off. Shit, I remember one where Lamar Jackson dropped back to pass, went to scramble, and just dropped the son of a bitch, and they ended up going back like 20-something yards. Or 12 yards or something like that. So they were stuck in like a second 25. So 15 yards. Look. Let's just set the record and get something straight here. Baltimore, and I said this going into the game, I picked Baltimore. But I am also the same one who said that Baltimore is very one-dimensional. Once a team figures out how to stop this run game, this team is done. And that's exactly what happened. The Chargers came in, and basically what they did was they took out linebackers and they put safeties in those spots. And they still had their deep guys, but they put safeties as linebackers. Why? Because safeties aren't afraid to hit people, and they're a hell of a lot faster than linebackers. They may lose a little bit in the size, but holy shit, did it make a difference. I mean, they didn't allow Baltimore to have jack diddly shit. Baltimore rolled into the second half and literally got one. Before they started scoring points, which was like, what, 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter, they hadn't got a first down the entire second half. They only had 3 going into halftime. That's terrible. That's terrible. The Chargers knew they were one-dimensional. The Chargers knew they had a hell of a defense. But just like I've said before, I've seen it so many times in Kansas City. Derek Thomas, Derek Johnson, when we had him. Good-ass defenses. Amazing defenses. Best in the league. Oh, they should win a Super Bowl. They got the best defense in the league. When your offense, this is like a mirror image of when we had Alex Smith last year and the year before that. This backs up that point, what I'm about to say. Our biggest problem was Alex Smith couldn't get us first downs. We had the defense. Alex Smith couldn't get us the first downs. Now it's the complete opposite. We can get all the first down points we want, but we can't get a stop. Okay? So keeping that in mind, what was Baltimore like? Well, they could run until the cows come home, right? But, well, they couldn't pass the ball very well. Their defense is phenomenal. But guess what? You keep that defense on the field that damn long in one half, you're going to break them. And they did. And that goes for every single defense. They were the best defense in the league. It's not supposedly. They are the best. They were the best defense in the league. I don't know who the hell's left now. In the AFC, probably the Colts are the best defense left. Who was the other team that won? My mind just went blank. The Chargers. Well, no, the Chargers. The Chargers, yeah, I take that back. The Chargers definitely are better than the Colts in that aspect. The Chargers are probably the best defense left on the AFC side. But they're kind of like everybody else. Their offense can't really generate points. I mean, I witnessed the Chargers line up, 3 downs in a row and try to run it right up the middle. That is poor coaching. Poor coaching. Look, I'm not going to bash on Anthony Lynn. The dude did an amazing job today. An amazing job. But in my personal opinion, the Chargers should have beat that team by 30. I mean, they should have blew that team out. And I'm not taking anything away from them, okay? They played a good game. They won. They almost let go of it there at the end because they got too conservative. But they earned their stripes. They won a game today. But this next test, man, I can tell you right now, the coaching's going to be better on the other side. Look, I don't hate the Chargers, even though I'm in a division with them. I don't hate them at all. Bill Belichick's going to outcoach them. Tom Brady's going to outplay Phillip Rivers. And that defense is going to end up playing better in Foxborough. Look, the Patriots are undefeated at home this season. Phillip Rivers is 0-7 against the Patriots. 2 of which being playoff losses in Foxborough in the past when he had LaDainian Tomlinson. I mean, he had loaded teams before in the past and went to Foxborough and lost. Now, let me say this. All things have to come to an end. I said that yesterday. And I'm a firm believer in that. The Cowboys finally got a win. Look at what Philadelphia's doing. They won tonight 16-15. I get it. Chicago missed a field goal. Look, that kid's been missing field goals all year. Cody Parkey missed several field goals this year that cost him games. And you kind of held your breath on it, but you stuck it in the back of your mind. Doug Peterson froze the kicker. And the funny thing was, these 2 guys used to be the Chiefs' offensive coordinators back to back. One was, he went to Philadelphia, and then the other one was, and then he went to Chicago. Now teams are trying to take Eric Bieniemy from us. Look, man, our offensive scheme's been better than it ever has. Every time you think it can't get better, it does. Keep this guy. I don't care what kind of money you got to pay him. Keep him in Kansas City. Keep him as an assistant coach. Do not let him go. I mean, they don't really have control over that, but convince him to stay. Don't let one of these other teams suck him up, dude. I mean, this would be the 3rd straight year we've moved on from offensive coordinators. And, you bite your tongue at the end of the season because you don't know what you're going to get. The Chargers have a solid chance here. I think if there's any game they're going to beat the Patriots, it's this year. Look, the Chargers are undefeated on the road outside of California. Not technical road games, but outside of California, they're undefeated. The Patriots, undefeated at home. The Patriots are night and day from home and away this year. I mean, at home, they are easily top 3 in the NFL. Away from home, I wouldn't even put them in the top 5. Gosh. I don't know. I don't know what to call. I think it's really just who shows up to play. Look, it's obvious. They're going to pressure Phillip Rivers. Bill Belichick's a mastermind. He knows what he's doing. He's going to pressure Phillip Rivers. And Phillip Rivers said it best. In the first half, it was just field goal, field goal, field goal. We can't have that against Tom Brady, especially not in Foxborough. He's right. He knows. He knows that he's not going to be able to go in Foxborough and pull off field goals and walk away with a win. It's not going to happen. I'm going to take New England, and here's why. I'm not gonna sit here and poke fun at the past, because that doesn't make a shit lick of difference. It's just like the situation with Kansas City. You could sit here and say that they have no chance or whatever. It's a whole different team. The defense is completely different. They're not what they used to be. They're not as good as they used to be. The defensive line is the only thing that's the same. You can tell because they get pressure every time. The quarterback, completely different. The offense is relatively the same. The running back is gone. I mean, everything is different about this team. Eventually, it will get broken. Now, there is a solid chance here for Patrick Mahomes. Number one, he can break the 20-year curse. Number two, he can somewhat shut people up. And number three, he could be the very first, how do we say it? The very first-year player to start, or the first-year starter to come in and beat a veteran. First-year starters with Lamar Jackson losing are 0-6 against veteran quarterbacks. So he could also break that. Andrew Luck is a veteran quarterback. So here's my predictions. You got the Colts coming to Kansas City. Look, I'm not going to comment on this. I'm not going to give my prediction on who I think's going to win. You know who I want to win. This is the playoffs, man. The best thing you can do is make a prediction and go off of that. It's crazy. From what I've seen so far, not so much in the NFC, but the AFC, there was two teams this week that just shot themselves in the foot. I mean, they had a real chance at winning a ball game, and they straight up shot themselves in the foot so bad they didn't have a chance to win. The only time I ever seen Kansas City shoot themselves in the foot was Seattle. I mean, they really blew their own foot off that game. The Rams played really well. The Patriots played really well. That's just the way it goes. The Chargers, our defense failed us. Plain and simple. But shooting ourselves in the foot, yeah, Seattle was it. The defense played like shit, but the offense had chances to compensate for that, and they blew their own foot off with a double-barreled shotgun is what happened. They had chances to get down there and get in the end zone, and they didn't do it because they made so many mistakes. But don't let that mirror how bad the defense played that game. And I think that was kind of a staple for them. You know, they kind of went off that, and they wanted to play better in that last game, and they did. Bob Sutton tried a different scheme against Oakland, and it worked. I don't know if he's going to carry that over to the Colts or not. Look, I don't know what's going to happen, and nobody does. Obviously, Kansas City has more weapons. Obviously, Kansas City has a better D-line. They've got a better O-line. They've got a better quarterback statistically. Andrew Luck's definitely got the experience. I'm going to support my team, and that's all I can say about it. Is this a game we should win? I feel like it, yeah. I feel like all these years of people saying shit about us, you know, I've been alive for almost as long as this drought's been going. Eventually, somebody's got to put a stop to it, and Patrick is obviously trying to make himself a franchise quarterback. So if anybody's going to do it, it's him. So I feel like we have the better team. We got the home field advantage, which is big. Andrew Luck's never played in Arrowhead. Or at least I don't think he has. Look, either way, something's gonna happen. Okay. Hold on. And here's what I mean by that. Okay. So Philip Rivers has never beaten Tom Brady, especially in Foxborough. Until I can get these stats pulled up, Andrew Luck has beat Kansas City every time that he has played them, to my knowledge. I'm trying to find this real quick so I don't give off false information. So there you have it. So either Tom Brady's going to keep going, or Philip Rivers is going to make something happen that's never happened. Or Andrew Luck could come out with a win, and he could go to Foxborough, and he's also never beaten Tom Brady, or beat him in Foxborough. It could really just go either way. Okay, we're just going to do this. Okay, so in Andrew Luck's career against Kansas City, he's played. There's no way he's played. Yeah, those are career stats. Those are stats for this season. I don't know why I would bring that up. Okay. I can't. I'm having problems finding my website. Usually this isn't a problem. Okay, here we go. Found it. Okay. And of course, it's only about the Texans. I don't know why I can't find this. I usually never have a problem. There we go. I had to go to Google first. Okay. Let's see. Obviously he beat us in a wild card back in 2013. That may have been the only time he played us. Because he's only been in the league since 2012. Okay, so we're going to try it this way. Touchdown log, opponent touchdown log. I'm trying to find something very specific, and it's taken me a second. Okay. We're going to find out. God dang it. I know I'm really dragging this video out now. In the meantime, here it is. Okay. All time, the Colts are 12-9 against us. All time. So let's go to all games and let's see what happened. So we played them just before Andrew Luck came in to the league back in 2011. We lost that game 28-24. That was in Indianapolis. No, we won that game. And then ever since then, in 2012, the Colts won at Kansas City 20-13. In 2013, the Colts won at Kansas City 23-7. And then in 2014 was the wild card game where Andrew Luck beat us 45-44. And then what was that? The year before, 2016, where we beat him 30-14. So here's the question. When did Andrew Luck go out and when did Andrew Luck come back? All right, so here it is. 2013 or 2012 he played a full season. 2013 played a full season. 2014 played a full season. 2015 was when he got hurt. 2016 he played 15 games. He was out for 2017 and then 2018. So this means we've never beat Andrew Luck. That's what that means. 2012, 13. Okay. So 2012, we was the worst team in the league at 2-14. I already knew that. Let's see if they have game logs. I don't think so. That doesn't tell me shit. Okay. All right, well, Point is, I don't think we beat Andrew Luck. That's what it comes down to. So there you have it. There's another stat. Which, by the way, all you people who are talking, you say 95% of the people who are talking right now are talking about how Kansas City has no chance Saturday. So you're already writing those guys off. But then again, you're saying, well, the past don't mean anything. Anything could happen with the Chargers. I hope you know how contradicting that is. There's a chance anywhere, okay? Yeah, I always favor my team. That's just the way that it is. But I'll always be rational about it, too. There's always a chance. I've sit back in some of my videos and said there's no chance, and I regret that. And it took me, some of it's just getting caught up with your team winning and all this other stuff. I'm not really worried about the Colts. Worst thing that could happen is people talk about us, but there's a chance either way in any of these games. But you can't go around saying, well, the Chiefs had no chance against the Colts. They're the scariest team in football. They're writing them off, Saturday. And then turn around and say, well, the Chargers played, they played pretty decent. They got a chance in New England. All those stats don't mean anything. You're right, but it's something that people look back on, and there's certain teams and schemes that have a lot of trouble with other teams, and it's pretty apparent. We've had a problem with Andrew Luck. Has he been beatable in the past? Hell yeah, he has. We just haven't done it. And he's also played us in some of our worst seasons, really. 2013 was a decent season. Like I said, I don't really know what happened exactly there. I can't really. I can click on the box score, but that's about it. Yeah, so Andrew Luck's the one that beat us 20-13 at Arrowhead. So he has played at Arrowhead. I was under the impression that he didn't, because he had just been hurt for so long and whatnot. Look, that was the year where Kansas City went 2-13. They lost 20-13. The Colts were 10-5, and we still almost won at Arrowhead. So he has. He has apparent troubles at Arrowhead, but he still won, if that makes sense. So let's see, 23-7. This was 2013. Okay, so Kansas City went 11-4 this season. The Colts went 10-5. It was at Arrowhead Stadium. Andrew Luck played in this game. He played pretty well. Colts won 23-7. So he had problems the first time. Second time, not so much. And we were obviously pretty good this season. Looks to me like his defense. Again, we had Alex Smith. We had Matt Castle in 2012. We had Alex Smith this year. Alex Smith was 153 yards, 1 interception. You get the gist. We were a good team that year, but again, Alex Smith limited our offense. Like I said, this year it's completely flipped. We aren't relying on the defense like we did in these past years when we played Andrew Luck. And he hasn't had much success scoring a lot of points at Arrowhead. He scored a lot of points at home. Now, we also played the Colts in the wild card that same year. We got beat by him at Arrowhead, and we lost by 1. That was the year. And that was the last time we played Andrew Luck. So it's give or take. I mean, who knows, man? Who knows what's going to happen? Oh, sorry, we had Brady Quinn playing that game in 2012. No touchdowns, 2 INTs. Andrew Luck, pretty typical, 205 yards, a touchdown. So you can tell he's playing a role, but his defense is pulling him. That's how Andrew Luck has played this year. You don't know how it's gonna go. Number one, it's a playoff game. Number two, the Chiefs have had all this shit talked on them for so long. Oh, it's been this long since you won in the playoffs at home. You can't beat the Colts. You can't beat Andrew Luck. He's good at Arrowhead Stadium. I didn't even think he played at Arrowhead Stadium yet because of his injuries and all that other shit. Yeah, he has, and he's 2-0 there, actually. So he's unbeaten at Arrowhead. So you got all these records going against Kansas City, but look at how times have changed. Andrew Luck he's still the same guy. He plays his role. He does enough to win, but he relies on his defense. This year's Chiefs, we used to be the same team. Alex Smith did just enough to get by, relied on his defense. The Chiefs are completely different this year. We rely on the offense. Offense is high octane. Nobody can really stop it, or they haven't yet. And the defense isn't that great. So we are the complete opposite of the Indianapolis Colts. And when the Colts did play with a high octane offense, that was when Andrew Luck's 3-0 all time, 2-0 at Arrowhead. The guy managed to get the greatest comeback in playoff history by coming back in that Wildcard game. I mean, it just you just don't know. You never know. If you look at the box score from the Wildcard game, I'm sure Luck went off. Because of the second half. He had 3 INTs, 4 touchdowns, 443 yards. Alex Smith, 378, 4 touchdowns. The defense didn't get it done. He had no picks. It's just a graveyard of shitty losses in playoffs. I don't know. If I had to take a pick, because of the I'm not going to take a pick because of the past, because I didn't do that with the Chargers. The all-around better team is Kansas City. Will they win? Statistically, they're better. Doesn't mean they're going to win. The Chargers, New England has a better coach. They have a better quarterback. They have better schemes. I'm taking New England. Eagles and Saints. Look, the Saints murdered the Eagles 48-7 earlier in the season. It's not the same team. I'm still taking the Saints. The Saints are destructive in the dome. I still think the Saints can win. They got Drew Brees. They got the coach. They got the quarterback. They got the better scheme. The Cowboys going to the Rams. I'm taking the Cowboys. I don't think it's kind of anecdotal. You don't know which way it's going to go. I think the Cowboys have a faster defense. I think the Cowboys have a better defense. The Cowboys and the Rams are going to be an exact replica of the Chiefs and the Colts. I mean, those two teams are completely opposite of each other. Dak Prescott likes low scoring, just enough to get by. Andrew Luck's that way. The Rams have a high-octane offense. But the Rams are kind of like the Chiefs in a way. They've kind of got shut down. But I'm going to take... You know what? I'm gonna go back on that. I'm gonna take the Rams. I think the Cowboys are fast. I think they play good, but the Rams are at home. The Rams have a better offense. It just depends on what they do. The Rams have a record for doing the same thing the Chiefs do. Arms are up in the air. How do you beat the Colts? Well, you put pressure on them. Offense has to keep doing what they're doing. No mistakes. I feel like when Patrick Mahomes gets up a little ways, he takes an unnecessary shot. I wouldn't say an unnecessary shot. He takes a shot that it's either going to work or fail. Well, let me reiterate that because that's just football. He takes a shot where either his guy's going to get it or the other guy's going to get it. He doesn't take a shot where either his guy's going to get it or nobody's going to get it. So, that's that. I mean, that's literally that. There's just not much else to say about it. There's been a couple games where they're really high scoring. There's been a couple games where they're really low scoring. Look, the Colts have a record for screwing us over in the playoffs. They have a record for screwing us over at Arrowhead. Peyton Manning came in 2003. We had the best offense in the league. We were 13-3, best team in the league. Had a shitty defense like we do now, but they got pressure. Peyton Manning came in. His offensive line blocked great for him. Peyton Manning had the ball last, went down and scored. 38-31 was the final. The Colts came in, before that, Colts came into Arrowhead cold as shit. We had Steve Bono. He played good the whole season. Threw 3 interceptions in the first freaking quarter. He got pulled for Elvis Gerback, which didn't help. We missed 4 field goals, and the Colts went on to win 10-7 at Arrowhead that night. We played the Colts and Andrew Luck in Indianapolis after they beat us 23-7. We cranked up the offense. Andrew Luck came back in the second half, made adjustments, and they ended up pulling a massive comeback and winning 45-44. That was in Indianapolis. So all the odds are against you. I mean, it's what people say it is. You can't deny it. It is what people say it is. The Colts have always had our ass. They've always had our ass at Arrowhead. They're just like the Ravens. They've always had a knack for beating us in the playoffs. Regular season, we'll whoop their ass every single time. Or almost every single time. I think the Colts have a little bit more of an advantage than the Ravens do in the regular season. But eventually it's got to end sometime. And now would be the best time to do it. You got to break the curse. You got to do it. I just don't see... I don't know what to expect. I don't know what I'm going to get Saturday. I feel like if we lose this game, Andy Reid should kick rocks. And I feel like we should just make Eric Bieniemy the head coach. I feel like Andy Reid comes with too much mercy. He lets teams have too much leeway. And I think Patrick Mahomes tries to compensate for that, He tries to keep our head above water when we get conservative. And that's hard for one guy to do. If Kansas City wins this game, Pat Mahomes is going to break a shit ton of records. And so is Kansas City. A shit ton. Absolute shit ton. If Kansas City loses this game, I feel like New England wins. The Colts will just go to New England and get their ass stomped. I'm going to refer to the past again because, like I said, I'm not basing it off of the past. I'm basing it off of this year. New England's great at home. They haven't lost a game. I don't expect them to lose to the Chargers. I don't think they'll lose to the Chargers. Let me say that. And the Colts have always had problems with the Patriots. Every time they go to Foxborough, they just get the crap kicked out of them. And it's always Andrew Luck. Again, that's all in the past. They would have a chance at Foxborough, but I just feel like I'd see the same thing. The coach is better. The quarterback is better. The defense played better. I mean, everything played better when they played against them. And that goes back to this season. The Colts lost by 17 points this year at Foxborough. And that was their closest margin between points that they've ever had. It's literally the closest margin they've ever had. And to back up my point, I'll go right here to New England. Okay? The Colts have lost to the Patriots since 2010. 2010, loss. 2011, loss. Now, most of these games were at Foxborough, but not all of them. 2012, loss. 2014, loss. 2014, loss. 2015, loss. 2015, loss. 2018, loss. Andrew Luck's been playing since 2012, and he's lost every single game. 59-24, 43-22, 42-20, 45-7, 34-27, 38-24. So I guess last year they did get close. Or 2015 they got close. But Andrew Luck was hurt for that game. I'm pretty sure that was that one of the 7 games. Was that the year Tom Brady was out? No, Tom Brady was in there. Oh, Andrew Luck was in there. Okay, so I'm wrong. The closest margin of victory was 34-27. So, 6 points was their closest margin. Everything else was a complete blowout. Why? Just look at how Andrew Luck plays against football teams with high offenses. He tries to do the same scheme. He tries to, I'm going to do just enough to win and try to let my defense do it. Tom Brady is unstoppable. He's like Patrick Mahomes this year. You can't stop him. You can only try to slow him down. And if you don't slow him down, this is your result. So, could this possibly be what happens at Arrowhead? Even with all these blowout playoff wins that the Patriots had against the Colts, we're not going to blow the Colts out. It's going to be a high-scoring game. And if it's not a high-scoring game, it will end up being a blowout. Because it's... Or it might end up being like a 27-24 game. But then again, I could see us being the 27 because 26 is the lowest we've scored all year. I mean, the Colts are playing decent defense, but they're not playing shutdown defense. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is going to have his eggs in the basket. He's going to be ready to go. So, the way I see it, either Andrew Luck's going to hang with him or he's not. Now, before that, when Peyton Manning was there, they had some pretty grave success. But so there you go. There's my predictions. I'm going to get out of here.